Yeah, they're really not my favorite enemies. They're pretty tanky, and they just have such a dangerous grab and general attack, and you can't backstab them. They're one of, I guess they're not considered humanoid enemies. Is the problem? And fighting two of them, I really don't need to fight them. I think one just fell off, which seems funny to me. But I just kind of want to prove I can fight them because I can. I guess they're not considered humanoid enemies is the problem, which is weird because they feel like humanoid enemies. But I guess you can't backstab like the big Baronique Knights. So it kind of makes sense. Sort of, I guess it's like their weight, maybe? Different weight class. They're a big racer in Mario Kart. I really wanted to play Mario Kart the other day. It's my flawless segue to Mario Kart. I really wish I had the new one, but I'd been playing the old one a couple months ago. And, oh god, he camped the stairs. Birdmen learn to use the stairs. We're in trouble. We're in real trouble when Birdmen learn to use the stairs. Yeah, they're kind of tanky, and I'm like using a... This is this is the most amount of damage I can do. I'm not doing much better damage with the the raw. I might be doing more damage with the fire, and again if I had the chaos. I'm working on it. I can't have everything at once. I've almost got my complete collection, but not quite there yet. And maybe I should put the bellowing dragon crest ring back on because it'd be giving me more time with my buff. That might actually be better than having the flip ring on. And especially a situation like that where I needed to flip and I couldn't. Yeah, the damage, it's how far we've come so far in this playthrough, and still, when I'm one-handing it with no buff on, that the damage is like, it's just, I never would have been playing through a playthrough before and allowed that kind of damage. I would have never, never done this. So this might be the greatest challenge I ever do in Dark Souls. I had some other challenge runs ideas for 1 and 2, but yeah, especially since I maybe consider doing a Dark Souls 2 Broken Straight Sword playthrough, which would actually be easier in my mind. I can already see it being much easier, just because there's so many more options in that game. Yeah, we'll throw that back on for now, and we will get rid of that. And I should also probably kindle the bonfire before I run out of everything. It's a little laggier than I remember it being. Dried finger, which, okay, I always think of, I like where they moved the dried finger. That was a good decision to move the dried finger, and the up top of that citadel is where the red soapstone is, and I'm glad that those were two things that they changed in the remaster that I thought was a really good change, because those were just items that A, should be more available closer to the beginning of the game, and B, they were kind of out of their way to get. Not that players should pass the Painted World, in my opinion. I think the Painted World is a great... It's such... In and of itself is why I think it's cool. The fact that it's such a big area with so much in it, and yet a player can play through the entire game. Could even be feasibly following a guide and not ever go back to the asylum, find the doll, and find... Which is the key to get into the Painted World. It's just... It's so optional. You don't need to come here for anything in particular. There are things here, but just nothing you need to finish the game, and nothing even a... Whoa, God, no. Where did they come from? I wasn't ready for that. Alright, we're gonna reclaim the situation. I don't remember them being up top. That's scary. Okay. It's dead. I need you to die. That didn't kill him in 2 hits. That's not good, because there's a lot more of these guys to fight up ahead. And these guys, you almost would expect to see these guys... Crap. That's why I brought these. You almost would expect to see those guys in the swamp, but... It makes more sense that they're here just because all abominations are here. Albino rats, harpies, creepy... Nope. These guys, you got the bone wheels, you got everything out of place here. But a thought I was going through right before I died was the similarities between the Painted World and the asylum that you start in. The kind of the atmosphere and a little bit of the look and feel. There are similarities, and that may be because the Painted World was an area that was worked on first before most other areas, to my understanding. So that's one of the reasons that it A, looks the way it does, and B, is more fleshed out than some of the other areas in the game. Like something as late as Islith versus even some of the, even like the Berg. Well, the Berg's really fleshed out, but this is a really fleshed out area because it was worked on first. It was to my understanding, like a demo slash, not debug, but sort of like a beginning area, and then they ended up changing it, moving it around for, sometimes you start working on an area in the beginning of a game, and you don't die, And then you decide, oh, this area that we've been working on to like test out enemies and test out how things work and function, this will work better here. Actually, it may have even been along the lines of, we're not going to use this area at all, it's just a test area, and then when they finished it, like, hey, you know what, this fit really, really good right here. And it did. It's such a good area, because it's well designed, and it's well designed because it had so much time to be worked on. And it's also got some very unique and out-of-place enemies that give you a variety of challenges. Like these guys, like they're blowing fireballs at me. I don't even know if they had a torch. Maybe I could understand, but they don't. And then they got like the bug plague thing on their head, which isn't explained as far as I know. I don't know what that is. I couldn't tell you what that is. I'm not a lore expert, but I know my Dark Souls a little bit here and there. I've watched the videos and the analyzation. Plunging it. Why didn't that finish? It didn't seem like you should be able to stop in the middle of a plunging attack. I'm trying to fight these guys and not do that, but now that I'm toxic, I might as well just go all in. The only nice thing about being toxic is I can't be double toxic. Not like double gold. Okay, well I gotta kill him before I die. Alright, it would have been smart to put on replenishment to balance out the toxic, but... Really? Gosh, I know I'm a little weak, like I'm not wearing tough armor or anything, but come on. Okay. Low on Estus. I came in here with 20. I'm down to 3. How do I get here? Even something like this. You got this guy dangling this item here. It's like, oh, how do I get that? Maybe if I just cut the rope? Just cool mechanics like that just aren't really anywhere else in the game. There's a few little things here or there, but nothing like how much is in this world. I love the design. You can also run through here and miss half the stuff. You're already in a secret area that's so easy to miss. And then we've got some platforming, which takes you over to an area that you would either get to later in the game. I actually thought that was, unless it's down here. No, I guess not. I thought there was a broken straight sword right there, right here. If there is one here, I'm not sure where it is anymore. I did think there was just one laying on a corpse somewhere here, which any other player would not want that, but we're not any other player. We're the guy who did the broken straight sword playthrough that no one asked for, and died 100 times in the process. Rats, albino rats, which are more dangerous than regular rats somehow, which are also kind of cuter. A little bit cuter. Oh, I will gladly take that, because I am a little low on humanity. It would have been actually really nice to put a Mimic right about there, but we get the Painting Guardian set, which this is almost kind of like a dark, sort of like horror Reaper kind of vibe I got going on with this. I actually have sort of an opposite vibe that I could do with the Gwendolyn set and the Painting Guardian set that I'm thinking about doing. I'll think about it. And this is... I've died here before. I've fought an invader here in horrible death. I like how you either make the jump there and get across this way, or you fall down here, or you fall down... What? Fall down from that courtyard I was just in that has dead end, which I always thought there was a secret wall there. I always tried to find a secret wall. No secret wall there. It's just such a great area. I'm just going to, as we go through here, I'm just going to continue to gush about the area because I love it so much. I could praise the design of this area and the enemies and the feel and the vibe. I already said the feel is really important, but it is. I love, it's why something like Mad Monster Mansion in Banjo-Kazooie stands out to me, because it's like, oh, it's like a horror, spooky Halloween. I love the vibe there. It's excellent. I love it. The themes are important in levels like that. I always gravitated more toward levels like that, design like that. And I don't want to drop down there yet. And I kind of want to go to the top here, but there are harpies. I want to open the shortcut before I die. I'm having thoughts. Yeah, we don't want to fight the harpies. We don't want to fight him yet. But that's another thing I want to praise, is how cool it is that there's a... I don't know how the information spread to get to that shortcut, but when we get over there, I'll demonstrate for the few of you, the 2 of you who don't know, out of the 6 of you watching. Can't open that yet. Don't want to fight the harpy. Gonna go through the fog, which I don't... Is this considered going through the fog backwards here? Nope, it isn't. Or is it? No, I don't think it is. I think you're considered to go through that way, even though you can do a sequence-breaking jump to get down here. These guys, excellent. I think they're a reference to something in Demon Souls. As I haven't played it, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they are a reference. And I hope Jeremiah doesn't evade me. I didn't get close enough. And opens this right over to the shortcut. That's just solid level design. The way the shortcuts in Dark Souls were always highly praised by many people, just the way it worked. Like, oh, this led me back to here. And the first time you realize, and then how beautiful it is and why you need less checkpoints. And I think Future Dark Souls may not have done that particularly well. I've yet to see. We'll see that eventually. 2 was a little... That was one of my problems with 2. It had too many bonfires and not enough good, innovative, clever shortcuts. Nope. I want to kindle that as high as it'll go, because we need it here. But yeah, it's this area. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I like this area. But other than Dark Souls, it's summer now. I started this playthrough. I couldn't believe it. I started this playthrough stupid long ago, which is why I kind of want to accelerate it and sort of work on finishing it up. We're full-fledged summer. I feel like this is proving to be a pretty hot summer, but it's really a good summer too, and I've been doing a lot. And segue to summer, sort of, is I just watched some Summer Games Done Quick. I don't know if you're not familiar with Summer Games Done Quick, stop what you're doing right now. Check that up. It was, I think, a week or two ago now. Oh, God. But it's, in short, if you somehow don't know what it is, it's a bunch of, no. Wow. I don't want to die to hollows, and I almost died to hollows. It's grown and grown. I've been following it since 2013, 2014. Every year, there's 2 of them held, and a bunch of speedrunners get together, along with, I assume at this point, some very talented and coordinated people amongst the very talented and skilled speedrunners who speedrun games nonstop for, what is it, 3? It's quite a few days. I think it's 3 days. And nonstop speedruns of all different types of games, all different types of categories. And they all do it to raise for charity. It's an excellent event. I always donate to it every year, and it was just, this year was pretty good. They've gotten it pretty much down to a fixed formula, and it's pretty much at its best at this point. I've seen some really, really great runs and found some really good people to follow. I watched all the runs, but I think I'd watched a Zelda bingo run where they do, it just seems like that's why I'd want to get into speedrunning. Speedrunning is cool, but the bingo run is actually really cool to me. And you can only do it if you could do it if you wanted to, but the only way to effectively do it is with speedrunning tactics, like glitches, sequence breaking, all that kind of thing. It makes it way interesting. Like, a regular speedrun is cool, and it's just really cool to see how they change a game into another game, break the game, and then make another game out of that broken game. That in itself is just really cool to me. And I recommend, if anything, you should start with that. Just type up SGDQ Zelda Bingo Run. You should check that out. And there were just way, way too many other good runs to mention. All my favorite games, Halo, Resident Evil. So much to view from, so much to choose from. Just a great event. Can't praise it enough. Go check it out. And I don't know if they have any other kind of donations you can do when it's off, but donating when it's going on is a ton of fun. Now, I don't think there's anything else. I came in here, but other than the Ember, there's nothing else I really need for my build in here that I can think of. Can't get up that way, because then that spawns Jeremiah. Dun dun dun. Who might be one of the... No, I don't want to do that. I want to buff. I should have used replenishment first. Oh, well. We got him, right? We got him. I can't parry his weapon, though. So I probably should have swapped shields, because I can't parry that. He's got no poise, but he's got a whip, which might be the only redeeming quality of whips. The fact that you can't parry them. And he's got some really deadly pyromancy. And he looks awesome. Also, to my understanding, another reference to Demon Souls, his headpiece. And I think it's been in every game. He did a lot more damage than I expected him to do with that. And he's very resilient to magic. I should have known. Oh no, I rolled into it! Oh, I thought that would kill me for sure. Oh! I'm gonna back out of that one. I don't think you can backstab with a whip either. I can't seem to get a backstab on him. Good thing he doesn't have much health, because I'm really not doing a ton of damage to him. Occasionally, oh, there we go. I just wasn't getting the... I was backstabbing Dark Wraiths forever, and I forgot how difficult it was to parry Dark Wraiths, but... Oh, no! Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to test it out, but I'm pretty sure he cannot backstab me with a whip. I don't think you can backstab with whips. I think that's the trade-off. You can't be parried with them, but you can't backstab either. Oh, finish him. Okay, thank God. And now we've got his headpiece, which I could keep to wear. It could be funny. We might do that for a little bit. But mostly I'm probably going to trade to Snuggly for well, we don't got to have it yet, but we're going to get it when we leave on the way out. Through the gift shop. That's where Jeremiah's stuff is. Take that, which I could use that. I don't think it's any good against enemies, but it's too much fun to use against real players. Players who would come with Acid Surge and just break other players' weapons. I don't know. That was always the... just one of the most fun things you could do. Just trolling other people. Let's see how well I do against these guys. I think they're called the Phalanx enemies in this game. Okay, well that's okay damage. I have no reason to kill these guys. They're almost... They respawn, so I can't call them that, but they're almost kind of... I feel like they're like a mini-boss. But again, just adds to more cool enemies in this. This area just has no shortage of killing me. Garbage. Terrible garbage. 0 out of 10. Painted world, don't come. Well, honestly, that's kind of what I get for trying to fight them. Because I don't have to. They don't drop anything in particular. They don't have anything I want. I think they do drop something that's kind of a unique drop. But I don't need it. That's probably the scariest thing they can do, though. Just having the whole bunch of them and throwing that. Take that. And the best thing about this area is, despite the fact that it tries to kill me on a regular basis... Oh, God, no. Despite the fact that it's kind of a one way you can sort of go, and then you can miss a lot, it's got so many ways that probably when I come through here, I never play through this area the same twice. You know what I mean? I just kind of come through and play it differently every time I play it. And that's what that area is. I don't think I remembered that connected there. I knew it did, but I just couldn't remember it. Ah, God, no. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get out of this courtyard. I'm trying to avoid that well. If you're familiar with the Painted World, you know where that well goes. It does not go to the Shadow Dungeon. It goes to the... Well, it goes to somewhere worse. Much, much worse. But we're going to get out of here. We're going to come up here. And it's always, every time I come through here too, it's like everything interconnects and it's got great shortcuts but leads to other areas. It's good too, because despite the fact that I know this area, it always feels kind of fresh and new every time I come through. And I don't often come through to collect everything like we are today, just because I want to spend as much time to not get killed, to enjoy this area as I can. Because it's a really great area, and I don't always come through here during every playthrough.